G'day everyone. In this lesson I'm going to show you how to make some animated text using Adobe After Effects. So let's just open After Effects up and we'll get right into it. Now I'm going to have to do this in two parts because it could be a bit tricky and complex and there's quite a bit to it. But if you follow along you'll find that you'll be able to create your own and your results are pretty amazing. So when you first open After Effects, what you want to do is just click on New Project and you need to go up into Composition and go to New Composition. That's just what After Effects calls its projects. So let's use this preset, the HD TV 25 frames per second, because Australian TVs run at that, and that should give you 1920 pixels by 1080 pixels width and height. 25 frames per second. We don't have to touch anything else there. Yours background color is probably set to black, doesn't matter. Click OK and you'll see in here we've got our composition. Now I want to import some audio that I recorded in GarageBand, and you'll need to record your audio in GarageBand as well. So I've already got it set up here, so I'm going to open it and you'll notice it appears here. Click and drag it into your timeline. Click, hold and drag it, and now I'll just press play here. If you go up to your panels, in your preview panel, you can hit play. You can listen to that.
This is my animated text tutorial.
Okay, so that's what we're going. We're going to add some text that corresponds with those words. Now you'll notice that my audio finishes there, nothing left, but my composition goes for 10 seconds. So let's trim that down. Grab this guy here and move across to about the end, and then in composition go to trim comp to work area, and that'll cut it down so it keeps it a bit tidier for us. Okay, now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to create some text layers for every word that I spoke. So this is my animated text tutorial. So that's 6 words, so I need 6 text layers. So if I go to new layer, text, and choose a font over here, character will come up. You can give it a stroke and a fill color. I'll just stick to black. This, you can even right click in here and go new text layer, and so every word will be on its own layer. Okay, now it can be a bit hard to move them when the screen's this small, but I'll just move it out of the way. Again, new text layer. This is my, I'm just going to leave them all on top for the minute. This is my animated, right click, new text, animated text, new text layer, tutorial. Okay, I'm just going to move them so that they're off each other. Sometimes it's easier if you click once and then you click again and hold and drag. Click once, click and hold and drag to move them around, because it can be a bit tricky. But I mean, it's up to you. You'll figure out how the best way it is for you to do it. Okay, now we've got all these on its own separate layers. So the next thing we need to do is, first of all, we might hold Command and press R to drag out and get our ruler guides, and we'll drag out some guides here. So I'm going to drag one guide here, and this will just create a bit of a grid for our text. I'll show you how this works in a minute. Okay, this will do. And now what we want to do is go into your audio layer here, open the little triangle or the tab, click on audio, and just open waveforms up, and you can see the waveforms of your audio. So again, if I go back to preview and press play.
This is my animated text tutorial.
Okay, what we want to do is we want the words to come on the screen as the voice is spoken. So move your playhead to roughly where the first word's spoken.
This
about there is good. I'm not going to do get this perfect, but you can. So let's grab this and make sure that the layer of the text is highlighted like mine is, and where your playhead is, if you just press the left bracket key once, it'll trim the layer to that spot in the timeline. So you'll notice if I move the timeline back and forth, it's not on screen, and then now when the word's spoken, this appears. So I'll just hit play.
This.
Okay, so that's what we're going for. Now the next word is. Now I can probably almost put the timeline there, and I'll choose my this layer, left bracket key, and it'll trim it to that. So now, if you see how that works.
This is not.
All right, and we need to do that for all the words. So I'm going to try to go pretty quickly here.
Is my.
Probably my's about here.
Is my.
It's a bit tricky, that one.
My.
Yeah, about there is good. Again, so the my, select the layer, left bracket key. Now I might need to just drag this up a little bit so I can see the layers a bit better. Now what's the next word? Animated.
My.
That starts probably about here.
Animate.
Yeah, I'll go to the bottom of that little waveform there. And animated, left bracket key, goodo. Now text is the next word.
Animated text.
Okay, text comes in about here.
Text.
I'll go about here, click the text layer, press the left bracket key, and it will snap it, cut it to your playhead. Last word, tutorial.
Text tutorial.
Oh, I missed that one. Where's it?
Tutorial.
So let's go about maybe here. About there. About here. This will do. Select the layer, left bracket key. Alright, and let's just have a look at how that looks.
This is my animated text tutorial.
Okay, so that's what we're going for. Now I might drag this down a little bit because we don't really need, and close the tab there because we don't really need our waveforms at the moment. Now what we want to do is we want to make a nice composition for our text. So this is why we use the grid. So I'm just going to put the playhead all the way up to the end so we can see everything. Now the first word is this. I'm going to put it up the top in this grid here, and I'm going to make it a bit, nope, that's not this, that's the wrong word. So this, drag it up here, and I'm going to snap all my letters to the left margin there, and I'm going to make this nice and big like that. This. Next word is. I'm going to move it over here, snap it there, my. And it's up to you. You can arrange these however you like. You might have to zoom in if you can't quite grab it. I'm going to make my a bit bigger. Like this. Oh, easy. Don't want to move the margin. I'll drag it down. There we go. This little is my animated. Let's bring animated in. Gonna snap it against there. Now I'm not going to do this perfect because I'm in a hurry, but you can spend as much time as you need to on this. This is my animated text. Let's get text in there. Tutorial. Might make text bigger or stretch text out possibly. Make it nice and big. Oh, that's pretty massive. Okay, there we go. Tutorial, come down here, and I'm going to squash tutorial into the guides. Zoom out. Command plus, just the same on Command minus, just the same as on in Photoshop. And there we go. Now let's have a look at how that looks.
This is my animated text tutorial.
Okay, that's looking pretty good. Now, the last thing I'll show you in this video is how to create a null object and link all these layers to it so that we can have the option to control them all at once. So in your layer menu, go to new layer and null object. Now, null just means nil. There's nothing on it. You'll notice there's a little box that comes up there. Now, what we want to do is, let's get everything so I can see it. We want to select all our text layers. So first one, hold shift, and we want to parent them to the null object. So this is basically going to link, click and hold the pick whip tool. This is going to link all those text layers to this null object layer here. And what that's going to let us do is if I select it and I click and drag the controller here from the null object, I can move all these around together. So this acts as a controller for all of these layers. Now I can still go in and play around with them individually if I want to, but I can now have the option to animate, move around, just with all in the one go with that null object layer. Alright, that will do for this part. In the second part, I'm going to show you how we can add keyframing to our null object and to some individual text to make our animation look even cooler.
This is my animated.
Okay, thank you.